after a divorce, and after the untimely passing of my father. So that's how I became a writer. And here I am.
From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the Real Zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? What's going on? Welcome to another podcast of Conversation with Trent and Shan. We got some news here coming in, but let's bring Shan in before we do that. 1 second. What's going on?
Hey, happy Sunday. Happy beginning of another week, I guess.
Good stuff. Come in, but let's bring Shan in before we do that. 1 second.
Sorry. I got two devices going here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, gotta get out of this one. I don't know. This phone doesn't want to let me be great.
Let's turn the volume now. You're good.
I did. It's not letting me great tonight. Okay.
Good stuff. We're gonna be great, Trent said. We're good. All right, good stuff. Hey, listen, you ready for this this adult dating? And actually,
I am. I
have a special guest here, but before we do that, I wanted to make some announcements. Actually, there's going to be a name change of the conversation. It's been a conversation with Trent for years, on top of years, and returning after a very long hiatus and tragedies and all that stuff, and coming back with you, I just decided to make a name change. So going forward, it's Conversations with Trent and Shan. So that'll be changed across the board, across the platforms, everywhere from the websites to everything. It'll be Conversations with Trent and Shan.
I am honored. Little old bacon girl here.
And I really appreciate that. That's my way of honoring you. And thank you for walking with me and holding my hand through this entire process and encouraging me to move forward and to get back to the conversation. My situation with my condition and everything. And I'm honored and I appreciate you, and you already know what it is.
Absolutely.
So going forward, Conversation with Trent and Shan. Good stuff. And we also like to thank all the viewers who actually welcome me back. It's been 5 years, and these folks are across the board are coming back. And the numbers on the back end of YouTube, they're going into the 1,000. They're growing every day. I see them on the back end. They're not engaging yet, but at least they know I'm back, and now we're back. So they're actually, coming from Belize to Seoul to everywhere, to Europe, all that good Dallas, Houston, New Orleans coming back in, Atlanta, of course. And I think that the Atlanta market is growing because of you. So it's good stuff. Los Angeles as well. So, yeah, good stuff. So I'm greatly appreciated. I see the numbers are moving back to where it was before once years passed, and the book sales are coming in, and I'm so grateful. I really appreciate it. Good stuff. So, as you have a special guest with you,
joining us, yes, they're not physically with me, but yes, there is a special guest tonight, and I'm excited to have this special guest. I asked for help, and help came. So thank you. But go ahead. I will let you do the introductions.
Well, it's going to be Keisha, Troublemaker Keisha. Troublemaker.
Why she got to be troublemaker?
There's still some conspiracies out there because Mark and I really believe that she was actually, injected into the conversation by, these stumbling questions and knocked me back on my heels. So she's a very sharp sister, and I decided to make sure I was on my,
I don't know why you would think that it's a setup. Like,
I don't know, because I don't know, because she came right at my neck. She was a viewer who actually.
But
man, let's get her on.
I'm just saying, I kind of come right at your neck or other people. I mean, she's just a very intelligent, very intuitive female. and she can smell BS just like a lot of us can, and she just wants to know stuff. She's inquisitive like me.
Without further ado, I'm actually honored and very excited to meet her. So let's bring her in. What's going on, Casey?
Hey, good evening. Thank you all so much for having me. What an intro. I love it.
Right. Did you hear him? Did you hear how he was trying to introduce you like troublemaker? I'm like, Like they really think it was a setup that first night you came on and asked the question. I'm like, I didn't tell her to ask that question. She's very much her own woman.
So Keisha, welcome to the conversation. Give the folks the background on you. Just give us a rundown on you, and just I'm honored to have you here. So really appreciate you coming on and accepting the invitation.
I am super excited. I'm so glad that you guys invited me. When Shan reached out to me, and I was like, of course, why not? I'd love to be a visual part of the conversation. But I am also an Atlanta resident. Great topic that you guys have on tonight. I am really here for this conversation, so really excited to jump in. But I've known Shannon for quite a while, and it looks like I've known you for a couple of weeks now. So this is getting real good. And so I'm just honored to be on the show, and I'm ready to pitch in. But yeah, what else you guys want to know about me? What do you want to know?
Pretty much your background, because it seems like you're very engaging, and I don't know if that was you that actually subscribed to the channel, but I saw PhD behind it. Is that you?
That is very interesting. I have a friend that actually calls me doctor, and I'm just like, no, that's my next.
She's for me, she's like Olivia Pope, but
good stuff.
Really yeah, so I'm a friend of many. No real credentials such as MD or PhD, but those are in the works. Well, MD is not so much. I don't have that kind of time. But yeah, so my last name is Wilkie, and my circle often will refer to me as Wikipedia because I'm probably the person that knows it all. I do pretend to be a doctor to my friends, and I pretend to be a lawyer when I need to be.
Well, I'll call you a PhD, and I'll call you that because you're speaking into existence. So
absolutely, I'm here for it.
I believe in speaking things into existence. So good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, but she's also another super mom down here with two amazing adult children. Or she doesn't look like she could have adult children. She's bilingual. Like
I didn't give you a year over 25.
Right, right. You know, she's a very astute professional woman. Like, yes, highly intelligent, very loving, very helpful, and in all areas. Hold on, don't mess this up. You called her a troublemaker. You're not gonna do my friend like that. You're not gonna do my friend like that tonight.
On the first night that
hold on. I think you're still single, right?
Yeah, right now at this moment, yes, that would be a choice.
Okay, so she's not a lady of the street. She's not for the streets, but she is still single. We're both still in this boat, so this subject and this topic is right on point for both of us tonight.
Absolutely,
good stuff, real good stuff. So adult dating. When you saw the topic, what was the first thing that come to mind?
Well, just the challenges around it, right? So you've got, where do you meet someone? Then you've got the online options. You've got so many different avenues, and it's just really defining what's right for me at this stage in my life. And so I just don't know what that is. And so, people always tell you, go to church or go here and go there. And no, I just
the topic came from a viewer of ours who's actually constantly on with us. That's Mr. Mark Marine. Who actually shot over a couple of topics, and I said, hey, let's go. I just pushed the button on it, so we're good to go with that. So I started researching, and I was like, wow, what are these folks thinking about? Like, they're saying adult dating. Adult dating, in most cases, the average person would think about no strings attached type adult dating. But I'm not talking about adult dating like that. I'm talking about being irresponsible, not reckless. I mean, I was reckless in my younger years, so when we talk about adult dating, more morals, more working towards something, going toward a goal, not just out there humping around. But the average person will think, when you think about adult dating, it's like no strings attached.
Yeah, but there is a lot of that going on though in the adult dating world today.
Yeah. So
especially in the market down, here in the A.
Exactly.
Even at our level,
Yeah, but it's really good that you define that though, right? Because I think people are not really clear about what that definition is, and so that's when your intentions get off, right? You like, oh, well, what are we really doing here? What's the goal?
Exactly, right. And that's where, well, for me, when I started thinking about it, so he was shooting, he shot him over, and I was like, wow, this is interesting. So I started reading and digging. So I was like, yo, well, my situation. Let's say I told the young lady that I'm dating, I was just completely out front. I'm tired of the rigmarole going back and forth. Say, listen, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be open and honest, completely naked. Here's what my situation is. And just put it all on the board. If she wanted to stay, she stay. If not, hey, I understand. Nice to meet you. Could have been nice. That's the way you get rid of all the foolishness. You move away from everything foolish. You have to get to a certain age and just move away from. I mean, I humped around when I was young. I did that for years. That gets tiresome. It gets very tiresome.
We know. Thank you.
There you go. Whatever.
I'm just saying, we know. But I'd never met anybody who did all that and then wrote about it. So yeah, thank you.
It's called growth. It's called growth.
Growth. Yes. That is called, I think what you're describing is called transparency, and everybody doesn't have that, right? Absolutely. If more people were very transparent and open about what they're looking for, what they want, what they're into, because, there are different types of relationships now. There's not just your traditional monogamous relationships. There's a lot of poly relationships and things of that nature going on that are kind of coming to the forefront. Now, I'm sure they were always there, but now it's kind of being put more out there in the mainstream. So it's very important for people to be very upfront. And I know some of the challenges that, we can come across, especially here in Atlanta. And I just say here is just, especially with, men and that look like they'll have the same coloring as me, is just being honest about, do you even like women, or do you like women and you like men too sometimes, like that kind of stuff. Exactly. But transparency is super important. And unfortunately, there's not always a lot of it. So kudos to you, sir, for being transparent. Hey, Mark, welcome. Oh, we got Ursula?
Ursilia.
I like that. Ursilia, welcome.
Yeah, that's Ursula. That's a good friend of mine out of New Orleans. So she's excited about the conversation. She's actually, I think she's a big fan of yours, Shan. So she's here ready for
welcome. She said it is also stressful. Okay.
It is.
Yeah, it can be. It can definitely be stressful. I will say, and I'll let you speak on it though, but I don't know how much online stuff you've done, Keith. But the thought sometimes of meeting new people makes me very anxious and stressful. I'm like, oh my God, I got to start this all over again.
Yeah, no, I'm a zero online dater.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I think that, like, when we talk about, let's talk about serial dating, right?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Mark said there's also born again OG virgins like moi. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Miss LeBlanc. Thank you. She says she's a big fan. Oh, hey, Mr. White, what's up? Welcome. Thanks for tuning in.
What's up, brother? What's up, Mr. White? So let's talk about serial dating for a second.
Yes,
to me,
let's talk about it.
Serial dating is almost like multiple choices. Serial dating to me, it's like multiple choices, because it's like, I mean, you're serial dating all these random folks and picking them at the end. That's multiple choices. That's not adult dating. I'm sorry.
Mr. Williams joined the conversation. I was just greeting him. I apologize for interrupting you. Go ahead.
That's cool.
So multiple choice. Yes, go ahead.
So it's like multiple choices. So in my opinion, that's not adult dating. The serial dater, that's not adult dating. It's almost like reckless dating. if you're going doing all these, I understand that you want to make these choices and all this stuff, but you should be come to at a certain age. Hey, make your mind up. Hurry up.
But that's how you make your mind up. It's a number. It's like it's a numbers game. So how is I just want to know, how is that any different from what men do already? Because guarantee you that they're talking to just as many people if it's online as you are. It's like you have to go through. Like, how are you not going to know? It's like reviewing resumes.
Yeah, but let's go back to the why. Why are you a serial dater, right? I think that those people are very addicted to power and they fear rejection, right? So they don't want anyone to break up with them like, I'm going to do it first, like on to the next one. Like one of my favorite shows, Married at First Sight. Like I look at these people going, you couldn't find anybody in your city to get married to? And you're marrying a stranger. And most of them say crazy things like, oh, my longest relationship was 9 months. I'm like, what? You're on this show? So
right,
yes,
exactly.
I think they have some deeper.
Wow.
That's what pushes into serious.
I think we're gonna have to have Keisha back because she's actually agreeing with me. We have to have her back several times. That's what I'm talking about. So you agree with the multiple choice, Keisha, are you?
I agree with multiple choice, but it's about the reasons why. What's the rationale behind it? Like, why are you doing this? What's really wrong? What type of trauma?
Why does anything have to be wrong? If you're going, if I meet, so let's say you're on an app, you're going to meet different people because different people are reaching out to you. What is wrong with going out or having coffee or having lunch or dinner or breakfast with more than one person to kind of figure out, okay, who am I going to click with? Who am I going to have that chemistry with? You got to narrow it down.
That's not the same thing though, Shan. I think that those are blurred lines, right? I think when you're online dating, you really are looking for the right fit. It's not something that I chose to do, but I think you're looking for a fit. It's like you go into a department store, right? You try on different things until you find the one that you like. I'm okay with that. But what I'm saying is you engage in a relationship with someone, you go on maybe 2 or 3 dates, you go out, they spend money on you and whatever, and then you're like, no, I'm good. On to the next one. That's how I define. That's the way I see it.
I.e. multiple choices.
Yeah, it's A, B, C, D, or E. I think that's very different because online dating is kind of about test and trial. Like, does this work? Maybe not. Because online, I'm going to sell you this guy or woman who's perfect and has all the things that I'm looking for, right? But then when you see them in person, it's like, wait, hold it. This is definitely not what I was looking for. And you're on to the next person. That's not serial dating.
Okay, so we got a couple of comments already. So Mark said there's no shame in his game. He's a serial dater also. Mr. White, I have a question for you. You said multiple choice, but most often you choose none of the above. Why? Elaborate on that. And Mark also said, why ask why? Variety is the spice of life. Yes. And Celia said you have to kiss multiple frogs to get to your prince.
I agree with that.
And okay, so Mr. White asked a very good question. He said, what constitutes dating? A first date is usually a basic meet and greet to see if you would want to see that person again.
I'm glad Mr. White brought that up.
And Ursilia said, yes, they may be catfishing. It's true. That's also true. Yes. Mr. Epic E, this is y'all's special language again.
What did he say?
Eve was created for Adam to be his companion. I don't know what that means. If you two would like to let us in on the your special language, that would be great.
Yes.
So what constitutes dating? What constitutes dating? Because just because we go on our first date or a second date does not mean that we're dating. That's still me getting to know you.
What constitutes dating?
For me?
To me, like as far as dating goes, if I'm going out on a first date, and actually we were going to pose the question of who pays. Okay, for me, I'm going to always take the gentleman's way out. I'll pay, but it won't be at a Morton Steakhouse or Ruth Chris or anything like that.
Oh Lord.
It won't be there. If I'm not interested like that, it's gonna be something regular.
Well, if you're not if you're not, wouldn't you know that you're not interested like that before you even meet them publicly?
Yeah, but maybe the conversation will change my mind.
Okay.
So maybe the conversation over dinner changed my mind. But if I'm truly not interested like that, I'm not gonna ask her to go Dutch with me. I'll take care of the bill, but it won't be at a Morton's or a Ruth Chris or some 5-star where she's ordering a la carte. If I'm into her, we could go all out. But if I'm not, we're not gonna deal with it. We'll go to Sizzler's.
Is Sizzler still even in business?
No, they're not. But this is a joke.
You really dating yourself though.
That's okay. Don't nothing get over clothes. Go ahead.
Keisa, what do you think about the whole pain thing? And wait, no, but Keisa, what do you think about what constitutes when you're actually dating someone?
Wait a minute. Well, first of all, you said go back to the point that you made about going Dutch.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. That was a question that was part of the question as far as the topic for tonight, as far as who pays on the first date. Who pays for the first date? When you
have you ever paid for a first date, Keith?
I have not.
I haven't either.
Would you guys get offended if a gentleman asked you guys to go in Dutch?
Yes,
I would.
Okay. Can you tell me why?
I'm gonna be honest. If you've gotten to the point where we're meeting and we're going out, you should already have a good idea about whether or not you like me, and I should have a good idea about whether or not I may be interested and would want to see you again.
Exactly. And that's why I said that's why I mentioned I'll take the gentlemanly way out. I'll always pay. I'll always pay first. So, but it won't.
But I will say. But see, I don't know. I guess I'm looking at it from the angle, or kind of curious when you say it wouldn't be at such and such place. No. Like I would think that you would know before you even got to the point where you took someone out, whether or not you would even. Like, why would you even want to go out with someone if you wouldn't be willing to take them?
It's just for the conversations, or maybe the conversation is good. So you never know what happens after you have a conversation. I'm not into the whole internet dating thing and all that stuff. I need to touch you. I need to see you. I need to feel your energy, and I need to see that past the screen. I need you from across the table.
Wait, let's go back. Chivalry is not dead. So. But I mean, hey, Mr. Williams says, put that woman first.
Thank you, Mr. White. He says he always pays. And okay, so Mark, what does that mean? What do you mean I'm not versed in the basic lessons before leaving Earth? #Bible. What does that mean? See, I can't do the special language that you and Mr. Epic have, so you're gonna have to break that down for me. I don't know what you talk about on that one, but on that. It's about the whole chivalry thing. Like, even though
listen, you guys missed the point. I don't have a problem with paying at all. I don't have a problem at all. But if I will not invest in something I know that's not going to go past the front porch.
But shouldn't you know that it's not worth investing before you even get to that?
It depends. It depends. It's a situational situation. Like,
so Trent, why not set a budget to say on this first date, I'm not spending any more than X dollars because this might not work.
That's just me. I wouldn't. If I'm not
wait. Does she have to order from the kids menu?
No. Honestly, if I'm into it, I have stuff catered in, stuff like that. If I'm into it, I make it extra special. But if it's just a random date, we're not gonna go all out. I don't believe in wasting my time. Mm-hmm. I'll be nice about it and take a route if I had already committed myself to it. And bow out graciously.
No members only.
Okay. I hear you, let me twist that a little further. What if it's someone that you knew about 20 years ago and we're really, kicking it like that, but it's like, hey, Tracy, let's go here. Let's go Dutch. But you're really interested in her. but you're like, let's go Dutch, and you all have this older relationship. You knew each other from the past. You're trying to see, do you think it's right then, or how do you feel about it?
I would never do Dutch. It doesn't matter if I'm going out with a lady, whether it be totally platonic or my father raised me a little different than that. So I would never do Dutch with a woman.
Okay. What if, and before you're able to even let's say this is somebody that you really want to take to like Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Let's say Antoine's or Cafe Du Monde, right? So that's your local down there. But she says she wants a steak dinner at Ruth's Chris. How do you get out of that?
What you mean? If I'm into her?
No, let's say you've already made up in your mind, like you're already saying that I don't know if I want to make this investment, but she beats you to the punch with where you're going to meet, and instead of going to get beignets or something, she wants the steak dinner. Like, how do you get out of that?
We'd have to negotiate and we'd have to bargain for that.
Hell,
now if you're asking for a steak, hold on a second. If you're asking for a steak dinner, you haven't, you haven't
read my profile then if you don't know that I might want a steak dinner.
I mean, for you,
I'm just, so I will say this, like my profile, like everything about, like, I just put it out there. Like I'm too mature to be beating around the bush and being like, no, we not going to Sizzle.
So hold on a second. So you're saying that
we're not going to take me to Applebee's, don't take me to Chili's.
You'd ask for a steak dinner after one conversation. That's what you're saying?
But the part of it is I'm not having just one conversation with anybody. Like I don't. If we haven't had a conversation, guarantee we probably aren't going to meet up. If we haven't had a couple of conversations,
if we've indulged in conversation, of course you can get the steak dinner. If we've gone past conversation on the phone and we're talking for hours, and of course you're gonna get the steak dinner. But some random woman talking about steak dinner.
I don't. What is this? Hold on, Wait, before I have a question about that. But Mr. White said, are women expecting the first date to be at a Morton's or Ruth Chris or any other expensive place?
Exactly.
I will say this: no, I don't expect. For me personally, I don't expect that. There may be some women out there who do. I don't, but I will say we need to be somewhere in the middle. I'm not the Applebee's or Chili's person.
But I think that goes to the point that Trent was making, right? You want to go and you want to have some conversation to really find out what the person is interested in. Because if anyone knows anything about me, like one of my favorite things to do is I do enjoy dining out, but I prefer chains. So if you surprise me with something that's really good, it doesn't have to necessarily be expensive. I just would prefer it not be a chain restaurant. So you would have gotten that information in our conversation
to communicate.
I totally
agree. It's not necessarily a high-end 4-star Michelin, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly. I don't believe in it. And that's where the lines get blurred at with this serial dating, all this foolishness. Because, I mean, if you're serial dating, you're constantly going out with these guys who trying to get the whatever they're getting. They're going to break the budget on, take you to a 5-star, going to
a girl has got
this is why I always have an open and honest, naked conversation before anything takes place. Hey, listen, this is where I'm at. This is what you need to understand. That's called adult dating. This is what you need to understand. Here's what we're not doing the a la carte. Not tonight. Sorry. Let me get to know you a little better.
That's right.
Before you get my goods.
What are your goods?
Before you get me, I am the ultimate prize. That everyone should look at themselves like that.
That's just
everyone should.
But do you think in adult dating that people have the confidence to understand that they're the prize?
I don't believe they do. Not the average person. No.
That's
true story.
I'm naked enough with myself to say, hey, Shannon, you're not going to get this Morton Steakhouse tonight, but we will get this Popeyes.
You will get that Popeyes by yourself. Just saying. So Mark, why you saying that? Because you always start mess. No, he doesn't have to be 6'5". I thought I cleared that up last week.
Shannon's only saying that about Popeyes because she doesn't want to sit in the line.
You got that right. You already know. You see that line down here in the Ville.
Yeah, but having a Popeyes in New Orleans and any other country or any other place is totally different. I've had Popeyes in a ton of places. There's no place like home.
Mark, I'm gonna need you to behave. Okay, so Miss LeBlanc said when a man spends more than $50 on dinner, they are expecting the woman to give more than just talk. I wish a dude would. I wish he would. I mean, it could be, but I wish he would.
Wow.
You know what?
Wish he would. The drizzle. What is the drizzleized Mr. Epic hashtag GTD? What is that?
What did he say?
He said the drizzle is Mr. Epic and then hashtag GTD. Can y'all please stop talking in code?
Let's take a quick break and we'll get back to that and dig into that.
Yes, Popeyes is kind of cheap and nasty. I agree.
It is. I agree.
Mark, I still want to know how you know about this $40 fee.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break and get back to that. I'm excited about this conversation with our special guest, Keith. So we'll be right back after the break, folks.
Thanks for tuning into Conversations with Trent. We will be right back with more conversation after these commercial breaks. Welcome back to Conversations with Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're online and want to be a part of tonight's topic, you can do that by dialing 347-324-5327. Press the number 1 to get into the queue so that your voice can be added to tonight's conversation. Now, let's get back to the show.
Welcome back. Good stuff.
I found out what GTD is, so got the draws. Okay, thank you, Mr. Walker, for clarifying that. I'm a little shocked that you knew what that meant, but okay.
I knew what it meant, but I'm taking a gentleman away. I'm graciously bowing out. I knew exactly what he meant.
So wait a minute. So what does that mean, Mark? Does that mean, are you agreeing though with Ms. LeBlanc that if they're spending $50, at least $50, they should be GTD? Like, I'm just asking.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go, here's the thing. You're on the wrong date. First of all, if
absolutely
you're spending 50 or 100 or whatever it is, if you're going in with the mindset of getting it, this is things that I've done in my younger years. I'm on top of the hill at this point.
Did it lead to but did that like really happen if you spent like $50?
I never had to do that.
Wait,
I never had to do that. I never had to spend an enormous amount of money to get sex in return. I honestly, I never had to.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
I've never had to do that. So to me, it's not what's between your legs, man. It's what's between your shoulders at this point. Come on.
2 Popeyes chicken sandwiches and a bottle of Beaujolais. Is that what that is?
Beaujolais. Oh my God.
What is that? What is that? You know what that is? Wait, you know what that is?
West Coast Shannon. Oh my gosh.
Beaujolais.
Yeah. Had he said some tonic and some gin and juice, it'd have been a different story, but he didn't say that.
But I mean, everything has its own place. Everything has its own place, and it depends on the individual how that date's going to work out. So let's get back to the adult dating.
Wait, what does that mean? Miss Charlie hopefully has seen old Marty Marr. What is that? What does that mean, Mark? I don't understand that. I don't know. He'll explain later. But what's the next part? So the dating. I don't go Dutch, and I've never been asked to go Dutch.
Okay, good stuff. What about you, Keisha?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do it, haven't done it, and I mean, no one has. I don't feel like anyone has thought to ask me that or consider that I would do that, and so no.
So you actually would ask somebody though?
What I ask somebody what?
Would you actually set that up in advance to ask somebody to tell somebody we're going to go Dutch?
I already said that I would never do that because that's not.
Okay, yeah. That's right. You said the gentleman that you would just go.
Remember, that was my question. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would never do that. I would never do that because I'm trying to get to the conversation. Even as a young guy, I was always trying to get to the conversation. When I was in my LA days, trying to get to the conversation. I needed to know how she was built, what was going on with her. I was trying to get to the conversation, meaning I was trying to get to her. I was trying to get inside of her, not physically, but I need to know what's going on here.
So I have a hard time really swallowing that pill right there, Mr. Williams.
Okay. You need some more water?
Every one of the women. So and I'm just going to say this, and I'm sorry if people don't like the reference with the book, because the way that I kind of got to know you was through your books, reading the book, right? So if I go back and I think about the character Romello that you wrote about, every last one of those women, you were interested in getting to know their minds. You were spending the time to get to know what was between their shoulders before you got to know what was between their legs.
Let's say this.
Let's be very honest about this.
We'll touch on Romello in a second.
We don't have to touch on Romello. We can touch on you because you have already identified and said that you are Romello.
Well, let's say this. That was how I got.
No. See, you always do this. You try to
What's your question?
Go ahead. I just want to know, yes or no.
What was the question?
Yes or no.
Repeat, please.
The question is, every last one of those women, because you just stated you're more interested in what's between the shoulders than what's between the legs. So you're telling me every last one of those women, you spent the time to get to know what was going on in their lives.
Hold on a second. No, not the lifestyle at that time back in the day like that. No. So here's the thing that goes back to every man knows when he's tricking or investing. So no. When I was on the road, no, I wasn't interested in getting into the mind because I was in and out of that city, going in and out the city. I'm in and out of there. That's a one night thing. So no, of course. I mean, no.
Okay, I'm just asking because you made a blanket statement, a very general.
But as life progressed and things got more serious with me, I was more interested in getting to know them more. And to be honest with you, I got even more draws or whatever the saying was saying because I was able to get into the minds.
Okay.
The mental drew them to me.
So you're sapiosexual, huh?
I'm definitely, yes. I know I'm definitely one.
I'm definitely a sapiosexual. Actually, we did a
show on that.
We did a show on sapiosexual. So yeah, I'm very mental. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very mental.
Mark, I'm gonna need you to stop talking about read my comment from 7:56 p.m. No, I'm not doing that. Don't do this tonight, Mark.
We have to accommodate the viewers.
I don't know what he said at 7:56 p.m. I don't have a timer on here.
It's a time. I can see the time.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, there is. Hold on.
There's a time.
Now I got to go back and look. 7:50. Go ahead. Wait. Is this New Orleans? Is it New Orleans time? 7:56. So it would be 8:56.
It would be 8:56.
Look, now I got to roll back.
Women. Well, Eve was. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we'll move on from that. Mr. White had a comment. I want to take this woman on a date. We've spoken a few times. Where would be an appropriate place to take her on a first date? Mr. Epic, you've probably done a lot of those, so you could probably.
It depends on. Is he into her?
Mr. White would have to answer that.
To me, on a first date, getting to know a person, take it to Starbucks. Very cordial. Like, why does it have to be dinner on a first date?
I've had a couple of those.
Why does it have to be dinner on the first date? Take her to Starbucks.
Yeah, and I think it's simple, right? Like, yeah, I mean, right, you're still getting to know this person and to really see where it might possibly go. I agree. It doesn't have to be dinner.
Exactly.
Now, if I've spoken to them maybe only once or twice and we haven't had extensive conversation, then I will do the shorter one. And I do it more for me, like, because if I'm not into you like that, then I don't want to have to be stuck eating a meal with you. I'm just going to be honest. So I've done a couple of I've done some Starbucks,
Guys are very easy. Guys are easy, man. Women come with this whole laundry list of things on the first date and all this stuff. Guys are very simple, man.
Laundry list.
No. Stop hanging out where you hang out, Mr. Epic. I don't think that's true. Not of. And you
tell, please. Do tell, please.
You cannot generalize that we come with this laundry list. But right, it kind of like twists into my thought process as we're having this conversation around maturity. And I think when you're short on maturity on both sides, and that's when you get into these rabbit holes of she has this laundry list. I really just want to hop into bed. Like you get all of this crazy stuff that like doesn't work and doesn't matter.
And that's why I say chivalry isn't dead with the right person. So I'd rather have a ton of chivalry, having conversation over the phone, meeting her, building it up. The build up is so more intriguing to me. Is more exciting to me. The build up, going to the build up. If I've been talking to you for months on the phone and conversating, even let's just talk about during COVID. So you can't meet up like that. So the build up is more exciting for me. That's how you get to know folks, man. You get to know them. I know exactly what you like. I've spent all this time with you over the phone. I know exactly what you like. So of course you're gonna get that steak dinner, Shannon. Of course you're gonna get that seafood. Of course you're gonna get that cup of coffee from Starbucks. Of course.
Okay.
Because I spent time speaking with you, talking to you, knowing you, getting to know everything about you, your likes, your dislikes. I.e., no random dating.
What's random? Okay, we'll go back to that. So Mark said, hold up, is Mr. Epic on the witness stand? I'm sitting right here with all the smoke. And Alvin said in his friend, he's talking about meow in his Fred Sanford voice.
Yeah, that's Fred.
I think Mr. White is answering your question when he said yes. I think what did you ask him if is this somebody he likes or something?
If it's someone he likes, I mean Mr. White has spent some time with her. He spent some time speaking with her, talking to her. So yes, I would actually recommend like a Morton's on the first date. I would recommend a nice dinner or a Capitol Grill over in Houston, because I think he's from the Texas area. So Capitol Grill, something like that, something nice.
No, he's in Charlotte area. Is it Charlotte area? I think.
Oh, he's in Charlotte, going back
there. North up in the North Carolina.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that, something very nice, and because apparently he spent some time with her. So yeah, I'd say a nice dinner.
Okay. What happened to Miss
soft flights and a nice bottle of wine? Yeah.
A what? A what and a nice bottle of wine?
Soft flights and a nice bottle of wine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What happened to Miss LeBlanc? I want to. Is she now? I actually want to have. I'm wondering if she's single. Like if she is she actively?
No, right? That would be good to know.
She's actually single.
What happened to where's Donna at tonight?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to Donna.
That would have been I want to get her perspective on it. But yeah, so I think at least for us, it sounds like Keith and I are both on the same that one, it's the chivalry thing for us. Oh, and honestly, I kind of think like you. If you're asking me,
she's here. She says she's here.
Okay, sweet. Okay, cool.
But if I'm on the wrong date if you're asking me to go Dutch, or if you're trying to place me to go Dutch.
Hang on, Mr. White, you want some recommendations in Atlanta? I got a whole list for you.
Where's it? Nick was actually in Atlanta this weekend. Nick does a lot of traveling, but so he wasn't going to be on tonight. He'll be back on Wednesday. So yes, but I actually missed Nick. I think he was coming down, and I actually went out of town, so I didn't even get to meet Nick. We only know each other actually virtually through the podcast. So I didn't even get to meet him. So I'm going to be grilling him on a Wednesday about what he did while he was down here in the A.
That's none of your business, acting a grown man.
I'm afraid.
It's my business.
I can't wait.
It's my business. It's all mine.
I deserve to know.
I wish you would actually that.
Let me tell you something. It don't matter because I'm the big sis, right? I'm the oldest of my siblings.
I wish you would ask me that. I'm a grown ass man.
Oh, I'll ask. Dude, you should see the stuff I ask you here, right? Right? It's no different. This don't change.
Okay.
Whoever you are. But it's so funny because I mean, it's a little bit of nosiness, but it's also like I'm asking a question, answer it. You know, that's why my brother and sister are really they were always scared to bring people around that they were dating even when my mother was still here. You know, you would think that my parents would be the one grilling folks. It was me. Right. They'd be like, Shannon, be nice, be nice, be nice. I'm like, I'm always nice. I'm always nice.
So I have another question on adult dating, right? So there's so many, spaces and places for this topic.
Exactly.
What do you all think about when you're dating someone and they're super attached to their family? And their family is always something with their family. Like, how do you feel about that?
For me, if it was always something, I would have to bow out the family gatherings and always busy, not to do, go around it. If it's constant drama, if it's filled with drama, I couldn't do it.
And maybe it's not drama. Maybe it's I heard when Stacey Abrams was running for office, right? There was, fodder about her, her family. She's in all this debt, but she was really kind of like the money person for the family. And she was helping people with financial affairs. So, right, it caused her. So right now, all people are calling her for money, for help, for, she's got this legal background. So they're always calling her for, I got an issue. Like, how would is that someone that you would like, yeah, I'm going to keep dating them, or no, that's just too much for me. You are just far too attached to them, and I can't.
I don't know.
It would be too much for me. It will be too much for me, and I would find a way to graciously bow out because if the family is constantly doing whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, but I'm a very private person, and I don't even let my brothers in on certain things that I'm doing. So
why not?
Because that's just me. If it's I'm in a relationship, that's what it is, a relationship between me and the person.
Are you concerned about them passing judgment? Like Shan just talked about her siblings and how she's I do all the judging.
I don't care about the judgment. I don't care about the judgment. I'm just a private person, period. So if I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship with that person. So I don't do all that. I don't. That's how you keep down confusion. You know what I mean? When people get comfortable with you, then the disrespect comes in and all this other stuff. I don't like people getting comfortable with me like that.
So have you had that experience, Keith?
No, and it came to me because I was thinking about there was an episode of Steve Harvey where this guy, he stands up and he says, I love my wife. We wanted to come here to this, but her whole family and the whole family like stood up in the row with her, and I was like going. He was like, I like
what Mr. White said. Mr. White says, is in his opinion, pretty much what he's saying. In his opinion, when you meet your mate's family, you're pretty much dating.
I would agree with that.
Totally agree.
Yep, totally I would agree with that. Absolutely.
So, Mark, what is that? Is Miss Charlie looking for help? What does that mean? Help in what?
I think Ursula wants to come in. Hey, Ursula, respond to me and we'll bring you in on the video chat. So just you're welcome to come in and join the conversation. Yeah. So the call
and let us. I will. But my question for her was: is she also part of the whole dating thing now too? Brother Nick out here on the Vax and Wax tour, bringing us back stats for the show. Bringing back stats for the show. Yes, that is exactly what he's doing. Just like them Dominicanas up in New York when he was up there in Brooklyn. Absolutely. Are you taking notes, Mr. Williams? Is that what it is?
No, I'm actually responding to her. I'm asking, does she want to actually join the conversation?
Oh, okay.
I can send her a link real quick so she can actually be.
Yes, come on. Come on.
Oh, she wanted to bring her in.
Let me tell you, this will be the first time that the testosterone doesn't outnumber the estrogen.
Hey, but I can handle it.
I like it.
I could actually handle it, so I have no problem with that.
Good.
Hey, Ursula, I'm going to send you in through the messenger. Just click on the link and I'll bring you in. 1 second.
On the Vax and Wax tour. I really want to know what he got into while he was down here in the A.
Well, don't worry. I'm going to ask on Wednesday because I want to know.
Yes, I do too. We all know how it goes down here in Atlanta. If nothing else.
Interesting.
Yes. So, I think we've pretty much cleared up the whole who pays type of thing situation.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sending this over to her so she can come in. Urs, when you see it, just click on the link and I'll bring you in from there.
Ooh, we gonna have a third female on here. I'm so excited.
It's good stuff. Hey, Keisha, thank you for coming in and joining the conversation, man. There's nothing like adult conversation, man. Adult conversation. Nothing
Absolutely.
Like it. What you talking about? Mark said, I'm not trying to meet fam or kiss babies. I'm not trying to run for office. It's one-on-one. love and basketball.
That's funny.
Mark, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I could be wrong, but I'm assuming you're single. Just let me know. Like, not in a committed relationship. Let us know. Inquiring minds want to know.
You're assuming who's in a relationship? I'm sorry.
That he's not. That he's single.
Who's Mark. That? Mark?
Yes.
Hey, Mark.
But I could be wrong. Though. I could be surprised.
But wait a minute, Mark. Never forget though, in Love and Basketball, when she says, "I want to play you for my heart," he started dunking on her.
That's funny. That's funny. That's good stuff. Harris is coming at you. I'm emailing it to you now. It's coming at you.
Lord Jesus. How long does it take to send a link?
She didn't want it through the messenger. She wanted it through the
email. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't mess with you then tonight.
Women are so complicated. They're so complicated.
We're not complicated at all. At all. Well, if compared to men, you might say that because I already laid out exactly what men want. All you got to do.
I know exactly what I want. So I don't have a laundry list of what.
Good.
When I met my girlfriend, I put it out straight out for this is what it is. Very simple. Very simple. The laundry list and all this foolishness. Oh, she has to have a pretty brown round and this and that. Hey, how's your heart?
So what did it take to get you there to make that list with such brevity?
Growth, karma. I was just interested in change. I just wanted change. I wanted happiness. I'd walked around a ton of years without being happy, and I was always interested in the why. Why was I doing the things that I was doing? Why was I dealing with all these different type of women? Where was my why? I was interested in more in my why.
Did you figure out the why?
I really did.
Okay.
Yeah, I truly went into. I became the man that I despised and hated. I became that wrong person that I shouldn't have. Who I grew up watching I admired this man. He was a serious womanizer. That's who I became.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I became. So I was more interested in my why. How do I get better? Because I had so much pain, dealing with so much pain and transferring all that pain. That's why I got to the point that, hey, listen, no bullshit. Let's go. What you want to do? That's it. This is who I am, and this is it.
Mark said he was referring to when I was asking Donna Is it, you keep saying Ursula? Is it Ursula or
I call her
or
Urs. I call her Urs. I mean,
okay, well, I'm gonna call her Urs too. When she comes on, I'll ask her.
all right, Urs. I just emailed it to you.
And what was your second comment that wasn't read, Mr. Marine? What second comment wasn't read? Because I feel like you about to. Oh, now you gonna keep your mouth shut?
Again, hey, shout out to Slash. That I call him Slash. Shout out to Mark for sending in the topics. So it's great topics and
it is,
stuff, man. And that's what we want. We want the interaction back from the conversations of years past. And we welcome everyone to send in comments, even you, Keisha. Send in your comments. I mean, send in your topics, and we'll talk about it. Let's bring Ursula in.
Hey,
what's going on?
Okay.
This is Shan, and this is Keisha.
Hey, girl. I be talking to you through the computer. You don't hear me. I'm talking to you through the computer. I'm like, Shan, wait, call me. I need to tell you something. This is so funny. Look, I have to be transparent and say, y'all, I had a drink. It's been a long weekend, and it's been a long.
Probably having a drink right now. So who knows?
The drink is going because I'm drinking so much. Like trying to talking to y'all, and then
exactly. Just like Keisha said, this is an adult show. So welcome to the conversation. Hey man, good to see you, man. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Good to see
so
you.
let's hop in. Let me say. So honestly, you really don't need a 5-star restaurant, even a 3-star restaurant. You kind of see somebody or you talk to them, you kind of know you're interested, but you kind of want to take that slow, because when you first see somebody, you don't even know if that's you really like them until you really sit across from the table from them. You might find where they just talking or like saying stuff that you really, I'm not into you at all. So you're like, you look good, your profile look good. I'm really not a what you call that, serial data and all that, like data online. I do date. However, Trent knows my situation. I've been talking to somebody for a lot of years.
Hey, can you share some of that? Can you share some of that, please? Can you share
a lot of
the conversation we had? Can you share some of that with these ladies?
When we have a show about that.
We're having the show now, so tell us.
Which one? What do you want? Which do you want to? Which one?
The thing about the guy who was into you, but,
okay, so.
But you're not into that guy, but you're into his friend, and
yes. So there's a story. My story is this. So let's just say this. First, I am seeing somebody. I am dating somebody.
Wait. So there's 3?
I am dating somebody. It's 2. It's two.
Okay.
Yes.
Doors.
Yes.
2.
Okay.
It's 2. But it's just really one person I take very seriously, and I value their heart. But I don't know if he really values my heart, because we've been together for a long time, and I just don't think we're on the same page, and I think that's okay. And we even talked about it today, like it's all right if we're not on the same page, it's okay.
Now hold on a second. Now when I spoke with you yesterday, I've been knowing you for a ton of years here now. You didn't tell me about this other guy, and
because you've been knowing about the other guy forever.
I know I have, but I thought he was gone at this point because you're telling me about this other guy. So I was giving you coaching advice on the situation. Now that you brought this,
I don't break up. I don't do the breakup thing. I just
exactly, but
you break up with me because you fall off.
Here's the thing, though. Here's where the thing changes, man. It changes up.
Fall off.
Nobody got no time for her breaking hearts no more. That's over. They don't have songs about that anymore.
So give them the story that you gave me.
So here's the story. This is my current story. So it goes like this. About 7 years ago, maybe 8, my sister met this guy that she worked with. She thought he was very handsome and or whatever. She knew her sister was single, and she said, "Hey, there's this guy I work with. I think he'll be your type. He looks like your type. And I said, okay. And she sent me a picture. I was like, that is kind of my type. And so she said, would you like to talk to him? And he ended up coming in a lab where she works at the plant. And we kind of conversed a little. We agreed to exchange phone numbers. And we began to talk on a phone. We only had 2 conversations before this guy ended up telling me that he was at my reception, my wedding reception. So judging by that, y'all know I'm married. I've been married before. So I'm like, he was at my wedding reception. Wait a minute. You know my ex? He was like, oh yeah, we went to Nicholls State, which is a college here in Louisiana together. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So I said, listen, look, I enjoy conversating with you. And I think you're probably a really good person, but I don't want to continue conversing because you know my ex, and I don't date in the same circle at all. That's like, it's just a no, I'm not doing it. You're not going to talk about what happened with me at the barbershop. That's not going to happen. So anyway, that was seven years ago. Also, like a few months later, maybe six months down the line, I end up going to a frat party and meeting and seeing this guy. We had never physically met, but I remember him from the picture, and I saw him. Interesting enough, he was with this other guy who was so adorable and so my type. I was like, oh, I like his friend. Well, his friend ended up coming to the dance floor a couple of times at this party, dancing with me, and I mean, just really intriguing and just really turned me on. You know, Shan? It's a good story, huh? And so I was like, yeah. I really like the friend. Well, so much so till we talked up and we danced a few times. We talked up until like 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He was like, look, I could just come to your hotel room and sleep. I won't touch you, blah, blah, blah. My girlfriend was like, so here's the thing, you know, you can't let him come to your hotel room because you know something's gonna happen. And I was like, yeah, you're right, you know. The next day, now this is his friend. This is not the guy that worked with my sister. This is his friend. So the next day he calls me up again and asked me to go somewhere. And I was like so mesmerized that I had so much fun with him. I just wanted to go and tell my sister about how much fun I had with this guy I met. He asked me to go somewhere. And it was I couldn't move that fast. I was like, look, can I take a rain check? A few weeks passed, a couple of weeks passed. We didn't really talk. Come to find out, you know, when I did end up calling, I texted him after a while. He said, listen, I think maybe you need to like something like we're not in the same place or whatever. And so I was like, okay, so I have options. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. Then I started to put 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, I wonder if his friend said something, but it's taken like years for me to kind of figure it out. Mm-hmm. So I think his friend may have said something to him because his friend really did initially like me. So yesterday I was calling Trent because of the show y'all had on Wednesday. I called Trent. I said, Trent, listen. I said, I'm really confused. I didn't say confused either. I said the F word, confused. Like, I think this and and this last time I saw the guy, y'all, first of all, he is so handsome. Oh my goodness, he's handsome. But he's intelligent.
In a nutshell, we know where we're going with this.
He's intelligent, and I like intelligent guys. I'm sorry. And so the thing about it is, y'all. So let me break this down to say the true part about it is his friend has told him something that like something happened with me and him, and that's not true. Nothing. I think his friend told him something, so I think he's kind of like apprehensive.
So here's my advice. The advice that I gave her on yesterday. Mm-hmm. If she's truly into this guy, and the guy is still reluctant of dealing with her, hey, listen, just go balls to the wall and just tell him, talk about the elephant in the room and just deal with the situation. Yeah. Adult dating, right? Yeah. So talk about the situation, period. Because I think, me personally, and any gentleman that's on here with us knows that guy had a conversation with his friend. I guarantee you.
And that's why he's reluctant. Yeah, what do you have to lose? I mean, it's your truth, right?
Yeah.
You want to be happy. I think we all deserve to be happy. Like I'd say it. Hey, but I do have to say this though. Girl, you just gotta Olivia Pope this thing. You gotta get in front of the story before the press get to it.
That part right there. Yeah.
That's the advice I gave her on yesterday. I say, listen, just be open and honest, because it sounds like he's not he's a little bit uncomfortable. So
yes.
the guy probably told him some stuff. So
Yeah,
he's a
so
little
that kind of-
uncomfortable.
But that kind of falls. So yes, Mr. White, we did talk about that last. We
And
did
actually,
talk about that last
to
week.
Keisha's point, when she said, are the guys or women adult enough to deal with adult dating? And here's an example. He's not adult enough to deal with the conversation, because the man should take the lead and talk to her about this, period.
Right.
He should have the conversation with her. If she's constantly texting him and the whole innuendos, hey, let's go for coffee, let's go do this. She's actually making advances at this guy for, hey, I want to talk to you, I want to see you. And he's backing up. So he's man enough to have this conversation.
But he texts back just a little, but he texts enough to, like, you know how you like and the so, man in a commercial, like is that State Farm? Like, ooh, y'all almost had it.
Well, I think so. Before we so Mr. White did ask, I think you got some good advice to move forward with Ms. Urs going forward with this. But how cute is he? Like, is he really cute enough to really like continue doing all this? Or should we just
So my friends seem to think that he is cute at all.
Oh, okay.
But he's intelligent.
Hold on, Mr. Williams. Hold on. Your friends don't think he's cute.
No. But I think he's very handsome. He's smart. And I think that's really, I love that, you know.
Okay.
Let's address the elephant in the room. He's still in a relationship. Clear some of these things up, and then maybe one of the reasons why.
Whoa. What was that? Who's in a relationship?
She's in a relationship. You didn't hear her when she first came in.
Oh,
yeah.
Mark said, "Oh, this is like boyfriend number 2 question mark," and he rubbing his hands together like Brian Williams. So he sounds like the plot to the movie Twop. 1 + 1 + 1 = 3 something.
No.
Exactly.
No.
So the whole thing is, Urs, in a nutshell, take out some of that trash first before even attempting to bring this drama to this man's life. Because that's the way he's going to look at it.
What trash? Okay, so remember how we talked yesterday?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Go ahead, Ann.
I was gonna say, what trash are you referring to? Because I'm not
the relationship that she's in. Because apparently, if she's in that relationship,
don't refer to it as trash. But there's the why behind why are you even looking? There could be some things wrong in the relationship.
That's my point.
So why are you looking at somebody else? So there's is the sex bad, girl?
No, I don't do bad sex. I shouldn't say that, but I don't do bad sex.
Okay, I was just wondering. That right there, that's enough. I'm just gonna
that's enough to end the whole dating and adult dating.
You know, we're not supposed to say that.
We'll say that part of the show.
Yes,
we ain't supposed to say that. We ain't supposed to say that. Actually,
girl, look, we grown. We will say that. You missed. Did you see the other show we did? We will say that. And if you tell me that you don't do certain things, no.
Yeah, no. That's not a problem either. I just think that I think it's substance. Like I think I'm to a place where I'm looking for something a little bit more sustaining. You know, I think, with COVID and everything, people are quarantining. You spend hours, with people, and the guy that I'm referring to. Go ahead. I thought somebody was saying something. Mark can go with all of that. It sounds like twat to me. Whatever, Mark. Poor Mark. But anyway,
honestly, I think that before anything could be discussed with gentleman number 3, I think that gentleman number 1 has to be addressed.
Yeah, me and gentleman number 1 started to have conversations today because he did share with me that he felt like things between us was kind of getting, further. We were drifting, and I mean, if you feel like it's drifting, and that's what
we're talking about the elephant in the room, which is good. the whole thing is if you're really serious about this guy that you've been randomly seeing throughout several years now.
The history of our friendship.
So the thing about it is, are you willing to take that chance? Are you willing to go that extra mile for that situation?
So here's the thing. Yes, I am willing to gamble. That's the first thing. And secondly, which is really the number one thing, if he said he felt like we were drifting, and when you feel like somebody's drifting or you feel disconnected, I think you need to hop on your disconnection and let's work on reconnecting. Let's figure this shit out. Excuse me. And I don't feel like, when we started, let's talk about the connection. How do you feel we've disconnected? And let's address that. And so as we was talking through it, he shared some things with me, and I said, absolutely, I agree with everything you said. That is the disconnect. Now, how do we fix it? And so you have to be willing to make some compromises. And if you're not willing to compromise, I've compromised all I can compromise. I don't have anything else left to compromise. So I'm not going to compromise anymore. It's like I'm dead as far as forgiving. Mm-hmm. So I'm asking him, you have to now start to risk some things. You have to risk family. You have to risk things and children. Exactly. How people feel. So, and if he's not willing to do that, I could turn the camera on. They have a kid up here, but he's 23 years old. They have people up here, but they take care of themselves. And whatever I do, don't affect them.
Exactly.
Hold on, he's how old?
My son in here is 23.
Oh, your son. Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move the segment. We're gonna move the segment forward. But Ursula, really appreciate you coming in and adding your voice to the conversation and actually being transparent and talking about.
Yes. Mr. White said we got this woman on the couch.
I wanted to talk more about the dating though, because we was talking. So I was put a whole message out there saying, when you first meet people, you don't need to go to Sizzler. You can't go to the coffee shop. You can't go walking track with a smoothie and walk. You can go to a park and walk. You don't have to go and sit down at a 5-star restaurant. A lot of times what we do as women, and I think I've been guilty too, is I'm on a date with somebody and I don't like them and I start to busy eat just to pass the time. Let me see the menu and now I have a brownie. And I've had the third glass of wine. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I think we've all done that.
Yes, absolutely.
Why are you busy eating? Because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings and say, okay, I had enough.
Good stuff. So we're gonna close out that segment, Urs. Appreciate you coming through and
yes, thank you for being brave enough to come on.
Good conversation.
Thank y'all.
So Mr. White says, so Mark, before he goes, so Mark said if you're gonna go all out, you gotta ask for what you really want. Have your cake and eat it too, both of them. # date them all, sis. Mr. White said, drifting, you better raise your sail and get blown away. And so Mark's last comment is, this is exactly why I go Dutch on dates, because you never know whom you're on a date with. Married, separated, committed, dating, or unfulfilled.
Epic comment. Epic comment.
He said, Mr. White said, hurt my feelings and save my wallet.
Epic comment.
I do not agree with what he's saying. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if somebody has even stepped down from their throne to go on a date with you, you know what I'm saying? You have to recognize why they trying to do this. They may not be happy. So, and honestly, you need to do your homework before you go on a date with anybody. You could end up easily into sex trafficking, Mark.
But me personally, I wouldn't want to be thrown into a dating pool of multiple choices. So
life is about multiple choices. That's why it starts off like that in school.
That wouldn't work for me.
Right, exactly.
I wouldn't be investing my time there. I would give any brother the advice of not invest. I do not invest your time there.
Okay.
That's a waste.
Don't invest in multiple choices.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Don't invest in multiple choices. Like somebody who has choices.
No, actually, so the person who's actually serial dating and for the situation here, I wouldn't advise a guy to do that.
So guys have had options for how long? And so women aren't entitled to options? Okay.
Exactly. Thank you.
Turn my screen off. Turn my screen off. Turn me off.
Great questions. Great questions.
No, I think you brought some great points and some great perspective on that. So thank you.
Thank you, Ursula.
Appreciate you, Ursula.
You welcome.
So, I think we're at like we're at 9:46, so we're way over. So I think we had one more portion or one more segment to this actual whole thing about adult dating, which was the whole when to have sex. So, I think that will best be suited for us to continue for Wednesday. And Keith, are you available to come back on and finish that out?
Always, absolutely.
Okay. And Nick will be back, so we'll actually have it'll be a time. We'll be Steven on Wednesday. So it'll be excuse me, nice to see what Nick might have to say about when is sex too soon or when should you have sex. And since he's been, what did you call it, Mark? Vaxing and waxing all over the country.
And bringing back stats.
Right. Yes. Those 7:30 a.m. stats with the train. That
stuff. Well, this has been quite interesting.
Yes, it was.
It changed up a little bit, so it's good, real good. And again, I want to remind everybody that the conversations actually just changed over. So when you see it, you'll see conversation with Trent and Shan going forward. Everything's changing over. The backdrop, everything, as far as the promotional stuff, everything. So good stuff. Always can't do it alone. So welcome aboard, Shan.
Thank you, and thanks, Miss Urs. She says she's looking forward to that topic on Wednesday. Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. So yes, it's good. I think I really like the two women and the one man. I think that really works out well. Isn't that how y'all prefer threesomes to be? Anyway?
I know, right? That's what they say.
Hey, you don't hear me actually saying anything. Actually, I could actually make this happen for next week as well. So.
All right, I got to go. It's like 9:48. I got other stuff to do. I actually just logged on as I was coming back, hopping out of the car from my.
And this is why your name goes in lights. You're so dedicated, and I appreciate you.
I know, Lord Jesus. I know. But no, it was fun. And Keith, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I can't wait till Wednesday. I think Wednesday.
So Keith, is it a date? You gonna come back?
Yes, absolutely. It's a date. I'm in.
Look at this. I'm gonna need you to talk to your friend Mark after this. Women not available to husband, boyfriend, side dude, side piece, food guy, lawn boo, work husband, etc. Mark, you never answered the question of whether you
gotta let Matt. You have to let Mark have his way tonight because Mark did bring the topic. He did bring the topic, so you gotta let him have his way tonight. He did bring the topic. Shout out to Slab. Really appreciate you, brother. Good stuff. So until next week, we'll be joined by again the lovely Keisha. I really love your perspective. I really very engaging. I love it, and it's adult conversation, very adult, and which is much needed. It's really needed, adult conversation, dialogue from grown women and grown men. So it's very needed. So. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Good stuff. Thanks for having me. It was fun. Great times.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So until Wednesday, good night, all. Thank you for the viewers and the folks that were on here commenting. We'll see you guys. Make sure you come back 8 o'clock at least Eastern time for me on Wednesday. We will be back at the normal time. I thank you guys for waiting till the 30 minutes tonight. I'll just go and put it out there. It was me. I was stuck in traffic. It was raining and storming driving back here. So
taking responsibility.
Either that or y'all gonna see me sitting in the car again. I'm sorry.
I'm proud of you. Taking responsibility. That's some good stuff there. I wasn't gonna say a word. I was doing the generally thing. It was on me.
No, it was on me. I will go ahead. I'm sorry. The weather just didn't breathe today. So, but it's okay. I'm glad I made it back safely with my three little princesses. Anyway, good night, you guys. Keith, I'll talk to you soon. Look forward to seeing you guys.
Have a great one. Good night. Thanks again.
All right, good night.
Bye.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.